Hello, hello. I want to walk you through very quickly how we would go through or what the steps are to access old listings. And the reason that we would use an old listing is there's a number of reasons. If a client has called us and they've asked us, they possibly want to sell their house or they need some information about current market stats on their house, and we just want to know the basics of their home, we can go into the matrix system in MRIS and pull any old listings about that house. And that's going to give us photographs. It's going to give us property descriptions. It's going to give us room dimensions. It's going to give us schools. It's going to give us directions to the property. So it's really a wealth of knowledge, and it's very handy to be able to access this information. We would also possibly use it if we're putting the information into the system. If we're putting a new listing in, it's great to go back and look through the system to see what has been put in about that house before, and we can use that as a helpful guide. So I've logged into MRIS. If you need to know how to do that, watch the video on that. And then I'm going to come up to this blue bar here, and I'm going to click on Matrix. The Matrix screen is going to take me to the main Matrix MRIS screen, and the tabs along the top here, I'm going to click Search. And when I take to the search screen, most of what we're going to do is always going to be in residential, and then I'm going to do general. That takes me to the screen. Click on the county that the property is sitting in. It defines the search, it sort of focuses it down, and it's helpful to make that search just go a little quicker. One thing you need to know if you're doing this type of search for old listings or for just information on a particular property, leave the status fields completely unselected or unhighlighted. So make sure that nothing in status is highlighted at all, because we want every single iteration or input of information on this particular property. Now what you're going to do is come down here to where it says street number, and you're going to have a specific house number or a street number for the property that you're trying to look up. So go ahead and put in that house number or that street number, and then put in the beginning of the street name. So whatever the first few 4, 5, 6 letters are, and then I want you to put an asterisk at the end. And what that's going to do is going to pull up everything with that house number or that street number, and that any street name that begins with the words you've put in. You're now ready to search. You've got a big broad search. It's going to pull every kind of status and for that particular property. And hit search. And sure enough, I can verify that yes, this is the property that I need information on, and there are 3 different pieces of information or 3 inputs in there, so I have a lot of stuff to draw on and kind of help guide me as I'm either pricing this property, trying to find information about this property, or as I'm getting ready to put this information into Keystone. I can look and see what other realtors said about it. I can even pull some old pictures of it and things like that. So you can either just keep this screen up and kind of cycle through this, but most likely what you're going to want to do, and you can cycle through it by just clicking on one of the blue MLS numbers here, and it'll take you to information about that property. If you needed to grab a photo, for instance, you can just right click on the photo and put save picture as, and save those pictures to your hard drive and be able to use those in a pinch for uploading. Let's go back to one line summary. That's what this screen is. Now what you're probably going to want to do is highlight each of these listings so they all blew out here, and then you're going to want to go to print report. And when you print report, what I would suggest that you do is do full listing. So highlight full listing, and then scroll down, and what you're going to do on your keyboard is hit the control button, and while you're holding that down, hit tax full. And what that's going to do is highlight tax full, and it's going to highlight full listing, and then come down here and just click generate. And the computer's going to think about it for just a second, and while it's thinking about it, and it's going to pull together a report. And the report is going to have every little bit of detail that the computer system has about each of these properties. So in this case, I've got the PDF here. I'm going to go ahead and minimize the thing so I have a page view that I can actually read on my screen. And it says it's giving me 10 pages of information. So there are 3 different printouts on this property, and now I've got all the information from the 3 different times it was put in. And then this last page is the tax record. And I've got the tax record where I can pull information as well. So now I'm really ready to go deep with this, to either price this property or put it in to the Keystone system and use this information as a good guide. As always, call, email, or text if you've got questions, and thank you for everything that you do.